What's happening, gentlemen? Welcome back to the Philip Ray YouTube channel. Okay, guys, if you read the title of today's video, you would see that I'm actually going to talk about a tattoo that I got on my head. So basically, I'm going to talk about SMP or scalp micropigmentation, my experience, plus a little bit about my journey with balding and the whole, from start to where I am today. However, before we go on, what I'd like you to do is make sure you go over and hit that subscribe button and also hit the little ding dong notification to make sure you get notified every time one of my videos pops up on YouTube. I'll be uploading videos every Sunday and Thursday, so make sure you are part of the notification squad. Firstly, I want to talk about my journey with balding, or basically losing my hair. And just like all guys, I started losing my hair not because I was a bad person, not because I made bad life decisions, not for any other reason other than the fact that it was a genetic trait passed down to me from one of my parents. So I'd always had hair. Obviously, I wasn't born bald. I'd always had hair in my teens, right up until my early 20s. And in my teens, my hair was like so thick and dense. My hairline was full. And when I remember going to the barbers, and they actually had to thin my hair out with special scissors because my hair was so thick. Anyways, like a lot of guys, I started losing my hair when I was younger, say around 22. Some guys lose it when they're older. Some guys actually can lose it in their teens. However, I was 22 when I first noted that my hairline slowly started to recede. It was quite traumatizing. As you can imagine, I was constantly checking the mirror, looking at my hairline, seeing if it progressed back further. I was always on the internet looking for cures, or the new pill that would make your hair grow back, or procedures, and looking at hair transplant results and on the forums. And this is a normal thing for guys to go through. It is quite traumatizing and frustrating, and it can give you anxiety, and you're constantly looking for a way for it to stop or to reverse it somehow. It's it's one of those things that really, for me, it took away, I felt like it was taking away my identity. It was a very troubling time for me when I was in my early 20s. And my balding basically got to the point where I started shaving my head. First it was with clippers, and then I started using a razor blade as it progressed. And it got to a point where I really just accepted it for who I was. It was part of my identity now, and I was used to it. And that was a slow curve for me to accept it. But after a handful of years, I finally accepted it and said, look, this is who I am. Fuck it. If someone doesn't like me because of my hair or lack thereof, then I probably don't want to hang out with them anyways. And I started focusing more on things that I could control in my life, as opposed to the things that I couldn't. There was nothing I could do about my head. However, I could become a better person, personality-wise. I could take control of my physique and get in great shape, my health, my fitness, and I could take control of my career. So those are things I kind of concentrated on, and because I could make those better, I could do something about those. And like I was saying, for many years, I kind of just left it, got over it, and kind of said to myself, this is who I am. Fast forward down the track, it never affected my ability to meet girls, or I'm married now, so my wife was never bothered about the fact that I was bald. It was more so one of those things back in the day that used to bother me. But once I got over it, everything was fine. Now, my message with guys that are going through a similar thing, where they're losing their hair and they're stressing out, my advice is to basically accept the fact that it is what it is. If there's something you can do about it and you can afford it and it's for you, go for it. Do your research, go for it. However, if you can't get a transplant for any reason, like you're not a good candidate, you haven't got the money, or you're unsure of if it's for you, start taking control of the things that you can change, that you can better, and don't worry about those things that you can't. Anyways, fast forward to just recently, like last year. I always knew that there was a scalp. I always knew that there was this procedure that you can get done where they basically tattoo hair follicles onto your head. I knew about this, I think, several years ago. But I kind of just dismissed. I was like, whatever, it'll look silly. I thought of tattoos as this type of tattoos. I was like, if this was on my head, that'll look fucking retarded. Nah, that's not for me. So I kind of knew it was out there. However, I always just dismissed it. Not for me. Who cares? I'm bald, whatever. Anyways, it got to the point where I was going to get married, and I had actually seen someone on TV that had the procedure done, and it blew me away. It looked so real and legit that I actually questioned it myself, and I actually started looking into it. jumped on Instagram and started Googling SMP and things like that. And I was looking at before and after results, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. This looks so good. And obviously by now, I was assuming that the procedure has advanced at some point. They've got better technology, better inks, better artists. Just looked unreal. So as I delved deeper into this world of SMP, I realized that there was actually something that had progressed to this point where it was that good, and there was actually stacks of artists and people getting trained all over the world in this technique. So I started looking into artists or technicians that were in Australia that were the best. Like I was like, if I want to go speak to someone about this and consult someone about this, they need to be top of the top in Australia. So I did a lot of research and came across SMP Australia, and the owner and the head technician there, Caitlin, was apparently one of the best in Australia. I had noticed she had won stacks of awards overseas, and she was actually training others on how to do it. Right then and there, I made a decision I'm going to go with her. She wanted me to meet and see one of her existing clients that she'd done the procedure on before, and just to get a first-hand look at the results that she can create. And when I saw this guy, met him, he basically, the first thing he said to me was, man, get this done. This will change your life. And I had a look at his head, and it looked legit. Like I couldn't differentiate between where the ink was and where his hair was. It blended in so seamlessly and looked so legit. I was like, done. Lock me in. Right then and there, I was like, take my deposit. I want to get this done. The whole procedure basically takes around 3 to 4 sessions, depending on your, what you're after and your results and how your skin is actually holding the ink. After 3 sessions, I decided I wanted a 4th just to add a little bit more density and to soften my hairline a little bit to get it to what it is today. And the 4th section I actually recorded, took the camera in on my last 4th session just to show you guys what it was like. So check it out. What's happening, YouTube? I'm here now in Kalara. I don't think I've ever been here in my life. I've lived in Sydney my whole life, and I don't think I've ever been to Kalara. Anyways, I'm here now in Kalara, coming to see Caitlin from SMP Australia to get my fourth and hopefully my last, for now, SMP session. So obviously I've had 3 sessions before with her, and I absolutely love my results. Usually take around 3 to 4 sessions to complete. So I opted for a 4th one just for a slight touch up to my hairline, and she's going to have a look to see if I need some more density. Everybody's different. Pretty pumped for this. I'm already running late, so look, I'm going to duck in now. I'm going to take you guys with me and show you guys how it's done. What's happening, guys? I'm here now at SMP Australia in Kalara. I'm here with my artist. Is that what you like to be called, artist, or a technician? I like to be called practitioner. Practitioner or a magician. She likes to be called a practitioner. I'm here today. I'm going to get my 4th and final session. I've already had 3. This is the results here. Full bold, shiny, nothing on top, everything. I'm like a Norwood 7, so everything's back down here. Even my temples were recreated by Caitlin, and trust me, temples and a hairline makes a massive difference to the way that you look. 10 times younger, 10 times better. So it definitely makes a massive, massive difference. All here was pure skin. You can see now the small pigmentation that she's created that looks exactly like stubble, and it blends in like perfect. You can't even tell. I can't even tell. I forgot that I was bald. This looks amazing. Couldn't recommend it anymore. So I'm here now, gonna ask her a couple of questions so give you guys a little bit more in-depth insight into what actually partakes in these types of sessions, and hopefully help you guys make the decision for yourselves.
Cool. All right, so yes, I'm Caitlin from Scalp Micropigmentation Australia. I've been doing SMP now for 4 days off of 5 years. And my history before that, I was a hair transplant technician. So I've had a lot of experience in the hair loss industry. Wow. So before that, yeah, 10 years worth of hair transplanting alongside an amazing surgeon called Dr. Mario Mazzola, and who's traveled the world. So I've been very lucky to be exposed to a lot of procedures and lots of information about hair and hair loss. Yeah, Yeah, so hiding scars and thickening out density, we're seeing a lot more of that trending at the moment. But also just for guys like yourself who just want to recreate a hairline and some temples and give a more youthful appearance.
Wow.
It's something that's quick and fast and easy. Within 3 to 4 sessions, you've had all of your treatment done and got your results. And it's something that's non-surgical and it's instant. You know what you're getting as well. You know, it can be quite an emotional procedure or reveal as such for many guys. You know, we're working with people's self-esteem and confidence here, so it can be quite an emotional process for some, and then others just you know, who are not unfamiliar to tattooing. It's just another tattoo for them that they can add to their body. So we get a big sort of range of guys and a big range of age groups as well. We're seeing a lot more sort of younger guys come through as well in the early 20s, which can be quite confronting for someone that young to be losing hair, right through to, you know, my late 60-year-old clients that just want to, basically they're not ready to look old yet, so they just want to recreate a hairline and frame the face and present well. We really specialise in soft natural effects. Here in Australia we don't really have the demand for the sort of the American edge up or the barbershop edge up look.
Right, yeah.
We more so get the guys that just want to enhance their look, don't want it to be too obvious that they've had treatment done, and that's generally where we specialise in these nice soft natural hairlines. Alright, so we're just going to have a close look at our results so far. So you can see here the nice clear little impressions. Lots of nice fresh skin showing between the impressions as well. So that's what we look for with a good scalp micropigmentation result. We don't want the result to be overfilled and looking like a grey haze. We want some nice clear detail and some fresh skin. So today what we're going to do is just finish off the hairline here. So we're just going to come through and just soften this out just a little bit. So now that Phil's had the result for a little while, just getting used to the treatment, just making some final adjustments to the hairline. And then he'll be all set.
Okay guys, we just finished up our 4th session. I'm going to give you guys a close up and Caitlin's going to explain what we're looking at and what it's going to look like and so forth.
Excellent. So when you leave a scalp micropigmentation session, all the pigment color basically just looks dark. And what happens over day 3, 4, 5 is the pigments lighten off into their tone that they're going to be. So by the end of the week, Phil will be able to see his new hairline and see that the pigments will soften into the tone that we've chosen for him, and then have a better idea of how this is going to look. So what you can see here is just fresh new pigment. It's quite sort of crisp, and by the end of the week it will have settled into its actual color. Redness goes within 24 to 48 hours, and then no telltale signs that he's had any treatment done today apart from a nice new hairline.
Right, so this is my final procedure now, how it sits. I shave my head with a razor every 2 days. I'd shaved yesterday. To me, it was something, I wish I got this done ages ago. The way it's really lifted my self-confidence, really made me feel like heaps better about myself. When we go out, I no longer wear caps anywhere. I used to wear flat brim caps a lot. I used to wear them to the gym. I used to wear them out. Anywhere I could, I'd wear one. But now I actually chucked out all my hats. I wouldn't be caught dead wearing a hat these days. It'd be like once in a blue moon, I'd wear a cap just for like sun blocking purposes. But other than that, I rock this bold, shaved head look, no hat, all the time as much as I can. And I would recommend anybody looking into getting this done. Some of you guys out there that lost your hair and you're not a good transplant candidate, or you don't want to get a transplant for any reason and you're considering this, definitely look into it. Make sure your artist is the best at what they do. If you're in Australia, I would recommend Caitlin from SMP Australia. She is definitely hands down one of the best, if not the best in Australia. I hope you guys can really take something from this video. If you did, make sure you hit like. If you've got any questions, make sure you leave them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer them. I know there's probably a stack of guys out there with heaps of questions. Ask them in the comment section below, and I'll make sure I answer them for you as detailed as possible. Hadouken!